Hey, I'm Kev. Welcome back to MotoGP 18 and the penultimate round has Mario McDonald. He's really in the title fight now. Can he grab the lead around the Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia? As we're back to the normal length, and Malaysia's a bit tougher, especially when it is pouring it down here. For a possible 2 laps in qualifying 1. Mario a bit wide in the first corner. You can see skating the bike into the corners, letting that rear end come round. This goes through the right hand, 24.8 first sector. Just got to be so smooth somehow on the bike, at least on the power. On the brakes, you can rag it a bit. On the power, out the corners. Going to be buttery smooth. Seems to be a good lap for Mario. He's gone a bit wide there for the double right. Going to power nice and early though. Go through the left, such a tough corner normally. Same for the right hand kink. And the power nice and smooth for the right, and then high speed left hand kink. The bike always wants to go away. And then the most important corner on the circuit, the penultimate one. Sets up your run down the back straight towards the final corner, which could be a good overtaking spot. We could see more drama here in the race as well. As you run towards the line, Mayo with a 2:03.5. As Petrucci also joins him through as he's just miles ahead. And with Pedrosa, Baptista and Rabat, an all-Spaniard 5th row ahead of Spargo, the home hero, Serin and Smith. Luti up there ahead of Spargo and Morbidelli. Then you got Simon, Redding and Abraham with Nakagami last. So here goes Mario for his qualifying effort in qualifying 2. Well, he could have a couple, but seems to be the one-shot king at the moment. It's all a bit wide. But he doesn't mind that because he can get a good exit then. Into the second corner. He seems to be enjoying this track all by himself at the moment. Had a bit of help from his teammates as well. Or one of them. The first qualifying one, that gave him a bit of a tow towards the line. But this could be a long race ahead. It's going to be as wet as this in the race. So go for the fast sweep in the middle of the lap. Could have gone the power so much earlier there. Would have been much quicker. Same there, had a bit of a twitch in the middle of the double right. So a bit wide in the hairpin. And nicely on the power then. Just as you're in the full swing of the brake again. That's all, we shouldn't have got up to 4th. And you see the front just ducking away when braking. Cost Mario some more time. So just got to wait for forever to get on the power. That penultimate corner, let's head towards the final corner. And what seems to be a much better lap than his qualifying 1 lap. And then fade wide again, the final corner. With a bump down the exit, you've got to be careful when you apply the power. It's 2:04.2, no. Has to do another lap, does Mario. Once again, he's all by himself, though. Just going to be nice and smooth everywhere. As he's 3/10 up already after the first set, so much better. As for a circuit designed for F1 cars, is alright on the bike, it's just way too wide. And you can probably tell, no, you've got this MotoGP, like this big beast of a machine, kind of getting dwarfed by the track. And as you see, it's ridiculous when you're in a Moto3 bike rounder. Still 3/10 up. Still not matching his qualifying 1 though, that. So you really got the trail brake as well into some of these corners, especially the tight hairpins. No, not quite there trust-wise with the bike. So I've been on it all season. So there you go, much better through the left, can actually carry speed through the exit. And 1.4 up, it's showing that time wise. Another good exit onto the back straight, he definitely is. Up already on his qualifying 1 that time. And his first attempt in this session. So there you go, that's how you get into a hairpin. Need to do it on the final lap of the race as well, Mario, as he heads towards the line. It's a 2:02.8. And that's the gap to Marquez and Dovi. That 1.3 seconds after his second effort, he grabs another pole with Vinales leading the second row ahead of Zarco and Patrici. Then Rossi leading the third row a bit down. Ahead of Crutchlow and Iannone, with Rins leading the fourth row ahead of Lorenzo and Jack Miller. So for Mario, mission is simple again. Just win his 5th race in a row. So here's Mario revving up from pole. The penultimate round, waiting for the lights to go out for 6 laps here in Malaysia. He's got a decent start actually, but not as good as the Premac office at Petrucci's just motored up into third as Mario trying to take the lead at the first corner. Remember, you always win a race at the first corner as, oh, he can't. Has to slot back into 4th as Marquez dismisses the Premac. Or does he? Petrucci fighting back. Mario just going around the outside of both of them. Or not. That's all Marquez rubs elbows with him. And Mario just shuffled them back by on the exit. He's already all over Dovi again. It's Australia. A repeat as, oh, Marquez down in 4th. Behind Petrucci as Mario just slides down the inside of his former teammate. Another loss between these two. And does it again into the fast right. Can he hold it though? Marquez already dropping back a bit. He's got Rabat and Bradley Smith battling in the points. That's all Mario gone very wide. So Marquez through as well. So back down to 4th for the Aprilia. But showing intent on this opening up. Let's see if he can lead to a result though. So once again almost losing the rear. In a very wide line. That's allowed Crutcher and Zarco having it down his inside. If that doesn't get a good exit because the Englishman's leaning on him so much. He gets into the toe. And has to go wide again. This time he gets the exit back up to 4th. As where's Vinales and co? Got Iannone, Rins, Miller, Lorenzo. No Vinales or Rossi. Well, the works Yamahas. Remember, they're leading the team's championship. So if they're low down the order, Ducati up here with Dovi, at least, they could be going to the final round. It's Brady Smith in 13th on his KTM. He's loving the wet. Of course he does, the Brit. He's got a half-second gap in front. 4 tenths behind to Zarco and Crutchlow. As Marquez and Producer are really taking 7 bails out of each other. These early exchanges. May just easing himself back up into that conversation for a second. He's got Petrucci right in front. He's got Lorenzo up to 10th ahead of Vinales. That is your answer where the works Yamahas. Now battling to be into the top 10. So Gomayo's got that corner right. Hoping to be ambushed from behind now. Saying that, Crutch almost runs into the back of him into the right. So again, Vinales really battling over 10th. Lorenzo battling with the guy who took over his seat at Yamaha. And now Vinales up to 9th ahead of Miller. So at least one of the Hammers on the move. Where's Rossi though? It's a good key question. Mayo braking a bit earlier this time into the final corner. Hugging the apex as Crutchlow down behind. It's Miller up to 8th ahead of Vinales as well. Crutchlow out the point. Bradley Smith into them. There's Zarco in 5th. Renzi and only Miller. Vinales. Lorenzo rounds out the top 10. As the Suzuki's battle over 6th. Rossi down in 20th. So he must have got caught up in some shenanigans then. So he's battling with Nakagami. I suspect the Japanese rider knew he'd be battling Rossi in a race. Probably not actually, but we've got Pedrosa battling for 12th with Paul Espargaro. You've got Dovi just controlling the pace at the front. You've got Mayo sitting here, just wandering. Needs to get some urgency if he's going to grab this victory. Because he's watched Marquez, and Petrucci battle, and Marquez down. Now Mayo's getting by. Past Petrucci. As round to Marquez. Did Mayo have a little helping hand there? There's Rossi up to 19th now ahead of Scott Redding. That could be big for the championship. Wasn't that the championship leader, Marquez? Mayo's just extinguished his hopes. As he's got Dovi in front. K. Ram in 17th. Battling with Rossi. What a strange race. There's Crutchlow back into the points now ahead of Robert and Dovi out the lead. Mayo's got mind powers. First Marquez, now Dovi. As he leads ahead of Petrucci. What happened? To the Ducati as Vinales into the top 5. On that occasion, no doubt, Mayo was far back from Dovizioso has Italian just cruising in the lead. Now it's Mayo's time with Petrucci and Zarco on the podium. As he sets the fastest lap. Oh, and he's gone well wide into the first corner. Dovi and Marquez down in 9th and 10th. As Mayo rejoins just ahead of Zarco. Or does he? The Frenchman fighting back. Both Petrucci and Mayo for the win. Just like we predicted at the beginning of the race. Malaysia throwing up a storm here. And it's going the right way for Mario McDonald. His hot streak, if he grabs the win here, how big is the lead in the championship going to be? As we're in the second half of the race, he's looking around the outside, Petrucci. Not quite happening. He's got to be careful, because remember, there's a Tech 3 right in your tail. And you're in Zarco, half a second back. Well, the Frenchman can close that up in the blink of an eye. Right behind Petrucci. Vinales up to a fourth head of Rins now. Maybe Maverick wants the victory. Just been saving his pace for the second half of this race, has he? It's all Mayo, a bit wide into the left. It's going to allow Zarco to catch back up. It's gone a bit wide through the right. Poor exit, terrible exit. It's going to allow the Tech 3 to slipstream him. Zarco not able to take advantage. As this is a race last season where his championship hopes ended for McDonald. Have they come alive round there this season as Dovi up to 8th ahead of his teammate Lorenzo, who's conveniently ahead of Marquez in 9th. Not suggesting anything at all. That's a bit of a cut from Petrucci on this penultimate lap. There's Dovi up to 7th ahead of Meadows. Oh, Cal Abraham gone in for points. Well, his teammate up in 14th. 40 years quest is ended. Spargo really battling with Baptista for 14th. KTM and the Ango Nieto bike. It's time for Mario to stop playing with his food as well. Shadowing Petrucci. A lap and a half to go. They'll try and make a move. They try and get away from Zarco. 6 cents behind as the Frenchman. Mario slide it down the inside. He has a sink. He has a massive lunge. Has a bit more than a sink. Tries to get ahead of Petrucci. Petrucci's got the inside for the right. There's a bit lazy for Mario. Rossi up the 14 ahead of Paul Spargo. As he goes down the inside into the left. A neutral passing spot. But has it paid off for Mayo? Not quite. Petrucci back ahead and you got Zarco. You can hear the chainsaw behind whirling. Here comes the Tech 3 as Mario diving to the inside into the final corner. Just a rehearsal for the final lap, maybe. As they go on to it, these top 3, Vinales and Rins not too far behind either. It's Mario down the inside. Has he held the apex? He has. He's got ahead of his former teammate. There's old Zarco, and he's trying to batter up into second. Now can Mario race away? He's got Paul Spargo ahead of Rabat by 4 tenths. So has Mayo been saving anything behind Petrucci? We'll find out now. We'll also find out if Zarco is a good battle for the Italian and helps hold him up a bit for Mario. Looks like he is the Frenchman. So the gap is 1.2 seconds to Zarco. Massive news for Mario. It's all a bit wide on the left. So he goes for the right. Just nice and smooth your inputs, Mario. Ain't over till you cross that finish line. We know that from last season. There's Lorenzo still ahead of Marquez. Frustration for Marc Marquez. As the gap's now half a second to Zarco. But a nice exit from Mayo. Just 1 corner to go. For his 5th race win in a row. Just don't need to outbrake yourself. It's a bit wide for Mayo. But lucky for him, Zarco and Petrucci are battling behind, so he's up into the lead and the victory again. As Marquez got past Lorenzo there for 9th on the final lap, it looks like. And Dovi was on the move, Vinales as well. We'll have to see the rest of this top 10. As Mario wins by 6/10 ahead of Petrucci and Zarco, with Vinales in 4th, less than a second back. What could have been for the Yamaha if he had a better opening couple of laps? And we got Rins in 5th ahead of Dovi. Iannone, Miller, Marquez. He did grab 9th ahead of Lorenzo by just a couple of tenths. Then Crutcher in 11th as well, another faller. Rossi in 12th. Lots of fallers scoring points that they perhaps feel like they should have been higher. As Paulo Spargo 13th. Josa 14th. We're back, grabs the final point, winning that battle against Baptista by half a second. And look at Alicia Spargo in 17th, just a second and a half off. The home hero in 18th as well. 4 seconds off a point with Xavier Simon in last. So heading to the final race of the season is a big swing into the San Marino riders' favour. 14 points ahead of Dovizioso, 16 ahead of ex-leader Marc Marquez. Vinales, he's guaranteed 4th, 40 points back. Rossi's guaranteed 5th, he guaranteed that country mile ago. Then you've got Zarco, Petrucci up to 7th ahead of Lorenzo. Crutcho in 9th, Rins ahead of Miller by just 3 points in the battle for 10th, with Iannone in 12th. As looking further down, K Brown getting the wooden spoon. So in the constructors, it's Yamaha by 15 points ahead of Honda and 17 points ahead of Aprilia, a single point ahead of Ducati now. Then you've got Suzuki and KTM. Well, in the team's championship, Yamaha, they salvaged that championship lead and the team championship as well. They're 49 points ahead of Ducati, they can't be beaten. With Honda in 3rd as well. Aprilia 19 points ahead of Premac. Then Suzuki, Tech 3. It looks pretty stable actually anywhere else. Might be just in last. So for Mario and Aprilia, what a race, what a victory, and what a finale it's going to be. As great show of character by McDonald in Sepang. His opponents attacked him from the very first lap, which and took a fantastic victory. What an unusual podium. And in Moto 2, Alex Marquez ahead of Livia and Verge. In Moto 3, Martin ahead of Bastianini and Bezzecchi. So before we head to the final race of the season, what will Aprilia upgrade? So you've got the frame and suspension pretty stable. The engine, do they finally upgrade the engine? Don't think so. I don't think you really need it around Valencia just for that start-finish straight. And maybe the back straight as well, but it's more about, again, traction. There's a bit of a kink in the middle of that straight as well, so it's mainly just for the front stretch. So it's suspension or frame. Is it bumpy in Valencia? Not really. Don't think you need to really think about that. It's more about the frame, getting the bike into the corners and out of them. Should it be getting out of the corners might be a bit more important than getting in them? Well, it's equally important, isn't it? What do you go for? It seems like the upgrade of the bike reacting faster when out the corners really helped in Malaysia, so should we do that? And they almost fully developed that. As before we go to the final race of the season, let's look at the championships elsewhere. So Alex Marquez, 168 points ahead of Bagnaia. Oliveira, and so he's grabbing third ahead of Baldassari, should I say. And then we've got Verge, Piscini, Lowe's, Ika, Binder, Mir rounds out the top 10 ahead of Shirata, Bobent Snyder, Barbera, Navarro, Corradin in 15th, what the hell? Remy gone up to 16 ahead of Locatelli, and Simone Corsi last the point scores. No points for Marini, Vinales, Ardendale, Fanasi, Cortuaro, Agata, Manzi, Granado, Paoli, Nakashima, Joe Robertson, Danny Kent in last. Jules Daniel as well, and Fugolini haven't scored any points. What the hell? Well, in Moto 3, Martin 60 points ahead of Bezzecchi with Bastianini in third. There he is. Then Cornet, Di Gianantonio, Antonelli, Della Portia, 10 points ahead of Rodrigo, Otel, and Mesa rounds out the top 10 ahead of Kornfeld, Ramirez, Dalbin, Dalmino, Albert Arenas, John McPhee with just 3 points. Alonso Lopez with just 3 points as well, ahead of Tony Arbolino. The Tie Rider has scored a point, same for the Voloy. But then the likes of Suzuki, Foggia, Nuruddin, Sasaki, Bulliger, Masaki, Tuba, Yachenko have not scored points. What strange championships. As you look in the Red Bulls Rookie Cup, it's as expected a Czech rider head of Canon Onchu, then Denis Onchu, and then we've got Yamanaka, his fellow Japanese rider in 5th, then Artigas, Bautas, Tatai, De Wits, Garcia rounds up to 10 ahead of Dan Jones, Caruso, Kelly, Leibenberg, Jesperson got up to 15th ahead of Hernandez in the end. Hertas in 17th, as not scoring was Swiss rider. You got Van Oud, Max Cook as well, Pavalainen, Kawakami, Alfando. There's no S in there, what the hell? So that is the championships, and that is the streak as well for Mayo. 5 wins on the trot has dragged him back from the edge of being out of this championship battle to now having one hand on it. 14 points ahead. So if he finishes at least 5th or 6th, then he's got the championship, no matter what the Vizioso or Marquez do. Let's see if he can achieve it next time around one of the bogey circuits of Valencia. So, for watching, and I'll see you then.